Hello everyone, it's Lucy and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to make Alcapurria. Alcapuria is an appetizer here in Puerto Rico that is very well loved by everyone and very well known. People who come to the island will actually go in search of that Alcapurria, and trust me, when they find it, they can't have just one. Now, an Alcapurria is not so easy to make per se, right? The ingredients are very basic because what you would need is taro root, green bananas, and very well seasoned ground beef, which I have started to brown here in my pan. Now, to make a batch about 8 or 9, you would need a pound of taro root, what we call Yautia. Again, 5 green bananas. I only have 2 here because I have 3 already in my food processor. And I have about 1.5 pounds of ground beef going here, but you really only need a pound. But since I have a lot of alcapurrias to make, I made 1.5 pounds. So, what you need is your spices. And the only thing you will need for the alcapurria will be a teaspoon of salt. And I like to put a little sobrecito, little envelope, we call it, of sazon, which is cilantro and achote. And I like it more to give it color than so much for the culantro, but it does give it a nice touch, right? Because you want your masa, which would be your dough, seasoned well. So let's put this aside until that ground beef gets ready. And I'll let you know what will be going into that ground beef in a second. But first, I want to show you how to peel these green bananas. Now, they're not the easiest to peel because they're not ripe, as you can see, right? They're green, and normally we'll eat them boiled or in a salad once they've been boiled. But we'll make pasteles with these as well as what we're making now, Alcapurria. So, what you do is you just chop the ends like so, and then we're going to come over here and score them. If you saw how I was recording this video, you would laugh because let me tell you, I had to get really creative. But once you score them, you kind of stick a butter knife into that score and just move it back, peel it back. And it's not the easiest, and I have to be honest, it is not my favorite thing to do as well. So once I got a good bit in it, I go ahead and just kind of remove it with my glove. That's why I have it, because these bananas tend to stain your hand, and I hate having to take that out. And I'm just going to go ahead and dump it in my little bucket there, and then I'm going to go ahead and just cut it to make it a lot easier for my food processor to mix. So here we go, putting these in there, and we have another one that we are making. Like I said, score it. And just bring that knife in there and just pull back like so. And once you got it pulled back really good, you can go ahead and just peel that away like so. Yeah, this can be really time consuming, and it's really the least favorite part of making these. But let me tell you, it is well worth it to have that delicious alcapurria freshly fried. It's nothing like it. So we just remove that, and again, just throw that there. Actually, I got a little bit more. Just kind of like pull that away. Just get any of the little greens bits away. Sometimes we'll scrape it like this, like so. Move that there. There we go. And then I just cut it to help my food processor out. And here we go. And so that's done. Let me go over here and grab my little doohickey. One of these. These are excellent to break up the ground beef. And I don't have it on high, just really low, because I just want to pretty much cook it and get that grease out of it. Just like so. Put that there. I'm going to cover it a little bit just to help it along and bring down the temperature just a bit so I can get to the taro root, which we call Yautia. This is Yautia Blanca. They have Yautia Lila, which means lilac. And it's very easy. I just cut the ends like I did, and I just peel the skin off. Now, it could be slimy a little bit. Not really, but it could be slippery, so you have to be careful. I chose to wear gloves again because when you're dealing with root vegetables, they tend to stain your hand. There we go. Trying to jump bait. No, baby, you're going in the food processor whether you like it or not. Here we go. Just get that all cut up, or should I say peeled up. Thank God for this peeler that I have here. Oh my God, it's a godsend because it just does a great job peeling root vegetables when I need them peeled. Here we go. And we're just going to move that aside, and we're going to go ahead. And like I said, I'm going to help my food processor out by cutting this up like so. Be careful when you're cutting these because it is a little slippery. And we're just going to be putting them in the food processor. And here, we'll just take the other one and just cut it up. And a pound is pretty much like 2 of these. As you can see, I have small hands, but there you go. 2 of these will pretty much make a pound. It's very easy. And you don't really want to go heavy on the salt. A teaspoon is just fine for this. If I weren't using the achote with culantro, excuse me, I would use 2 teaspoons of salt. I've had some that are very salty, and that's not very appetizing. Some people don't really have that sense of taste when it comes to salt. They just get a little heavy-handed with it. And so, there we go. And cut it up just a little bit more, like I said, to help my food processor along. And here we go. We got that there. Then I have made a mess, as I usually do. Put these things aside and come over here and grab everything. Just pretty much put it in my bucket so that I don't have to deal with any of this when I start to put them together. Just clean this off a little bit. There we go. Here we go. And so now what we're going to do is we are going to turn on our food processor. Now let's see if I have to scrap with my food processor here, because you know that I'm always fighting with it. So before I continue with this, what you want is, you don't want a pasty consistency. We want it to be broken down, but to have just a little bit of texture, and you'll see what I mean. So every once in a while, I'm going to stop to check the consistency of my dough, or masa as we call it. Okay. And at this point, I'm going to be adding my salt. And I'm also going to be adding my little envelope of Nor Sazon, culantro, y achote. They have different varieties, but I had this on hand, so that's what I used. So we put that there. Let's put this cover back on. And watch it turn that pretty slight orangey color. So let's check our masa now. And as you can see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is what we are looking for. You see that? You see that consistency? It's pretty much broken down. into a nice masa or dough, but it still has some texture, and that's exactly what we want. So there we have that. Now what you want to do after you prepare the masa is actually stick it in the refrigerator for at least 3 hours to chill, because it makes it that much easier to handle when you're putting the alcapurrias together. And I already made some yesterday that I had chilling in the I'm so silly, in the refrigerator. So this is ready to go, and as you can see, the consistency is the same. And we'll put that aside for now, because we're going to go right over here and work on our ground beef. Now, the ground beef is already cooked, so what we're going to do is, and by the way, my iPhone got really hot, so I had to actually stop filming. So I decided to finish cooking off the ground beef and removing the excess oil that comes from the ground beef. So now that we're back in business, here I have my ground beef, and I'm going to go ahead and season it. Like I said, we call this in Spanish a picadillo. So we're going to season it really well. And what I'm going to use is, we got our sofrito. I have 3 tablespoons of sofrito here. Again, this is 1.5 pounds of ground beef that I'm using. So that goes in there. Oh, this stuff is magic. Let me tell you. Every Puerto Rican home, every Puerto Rican kitchen has this stuff, because this is a staple in our seasoning. And we also have 3 tablespoons of green olives that I chopped up, and that goes in there as well. Mix all of that in, like so. There we go. And then we are going to add some pepper. I like a nice amount of pepper. And some salt. Not so much. I'm not big on salt. I guess it's a good thing, right? But you still gotta season your food pretty good. That was a little less than 1/4 teaspoon. And I like to use some onion powder. I like to be nice and generous with that. And I also like to use some garlic powder. There we go. And I'm generous with that as well. And now we're just going to go ahead and mix it like so. So we're just going to let that go right in here for a little bit. Go ahead and put these aside. Put this aside, because we no longer need that. And we'll just put that there. So, where's my little rag to keep my area clean? Hold up, wait a minute. Here we go. Like working on a nice clean surface. This board is so old, I've had it forever, but I love it. Okay, so like I said, we have our masa here. And I'm going to show you a little trick that I do, because I told you that it was very tricky putting these together, because technically you have to get some masa in like a cup formation, right? Kind of spread it out and put the beef in there, and you kind of fold it over, right? And then you fry them. But that could be make you pull your hair out if you're not really good at that type of technique. So what I found is that using my pastelillo maker or empanada maker, right, where you would put the dough disc there and put your meat there and just close it up and it crimps it for you. Well, kind of the same idea, except we're not making a pastelillo. You'll see what I mean. I also use little suction things. I use plastic wrap. So I'm going to show you exactly how it is that I do this. Come on, don't film me now. This little slider thing likes to come out and show off when I needed not to do that. So here we go. Oh, normally I would use parchment paper, but I don't have any. But I find that this works well when it's not acting up. So here we go. We go and do that. I kind of cut up a piece here. And we put that there just like so, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some masa here. And what I love about this is that it keeps them uniform. So I have the same size Alcapurria every time I make it. And it just makes it so easy to keep that filling inside and have just the right proportion of masa around the whole entire Alcapurria. I have some frozen Alcapurria here that I made. And this is what it looks like when it's frozen, you see? And all of them basically are the same size. And it's very easy to just take the wrapping off and fry them. And I'll show you how I do that in a minute. So we got that. I just want our ground beef to get nice and ready so that I can, you know, do my thing here. Let me go grab my mitt here. I don't want to burn my hands because I'm good for that. There we go. So you see, it's only a few minutes. Only a few minutes. There we go. Put that there. I'm going to walk over here and I'm going to actually grab a fork to taste my ground beef and make sure it is seasoned exactly how I want it seasoned. Excuse me. Oh my God. Beautifully seasoned. I can turn that off. Yes, I can. Ooh. There we go. That is beautiful. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my oil on to start getting this nice and hot. Let me see. I don't want it so high because I don't want it to burn me. I just want it a nice medium heat like so. And let that do its thing. So I'm going to go ahead and put a few together so you can see how I assemble the Alcapurria. So like I said, I already have my cold masa here. Actually, I already took my gloves off when my phone got overheated because I no longer needed them on anyways. So here we go. So like I said, I have my little pastelillo maker here, right? And it has the plastic. And so I'm just going to scoop some and put some on there like so. You see? And like I said, sometimes you'll find a little chunk of Yautia, but that's okay. So you want it all nice and formed like that. That should be a blooper, right? Just like so. And I kind of make a little hole there. Just like that. Get a better image. Just like that. And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to grab, actually make it a little easier. I'm going to grab a little bit of this beef and just place it right in the middle. Just like that. You don't want to overfill it, but you don't want to be cheap with the meat either. So just like that. We're going to fill it just like that. Put that bad boy right here. And then like I said, it's not going to overlap all the way, like it's not going to close completely, but it just lets you be able to maneuver it because now you kind of pick it right here and you just start closing it like so, you see? And let me tell you, so funny, this dough already smells like Alcapurria. It's the funniest thing. So here we have the dough and I'm just pinching it. And then I'm just going to go ahead and straighten out my Reynolds plastic wrap here. And I'm going to just roll it. Roll it like so. Pinch the sides. Keep rolling it. You see? Just like that. And that's a nice size of Alcapurria. That's exactly what we're looking for. You see? It's exactly what we're looking for. just like that. And I'm just gonna make it pretty. Roll it like that. And make sure the ends are exactly how I want them. I kind of pinch them at the end. You don't have to. And there, my friends, you have your first Alcapuria. But now you can see why I say you need a lot of patience to do this. As we wait for the oil to get hot, I'm going to pull out a couple of these so I can show you. Because you unwrap them. And here they are. Now, can you imagine the way that I fixed them there and having to actually fry them that way? I can't do it. That's why I freeze them. These are starting to thaw off, but not that much. So let's check to see if my oil is finally hot so we can fry these bad boys. And do you see it sizzling? Yes, we do. And it is ready. So I have my tongs here. But we're going to go ahead and move this over to you. Actually, you can just like place it in there with the tongs. You can see, you can hear that. You see that? Lovely. We're going to go ahead and grab our other one and place it right next to it, just like so. And when you're frying these, be patient, because you want to start right away trying to flip them over. Don't do that, because it will tell you when it's ready. Listen to your food. It will talk to you. I'm going to go over here and grab my fork. So when I feel like it's browning on the sides, as you can see, I'm going to just lower the heat just a little bit, not so much. Then when I take my fork and try to lift it, if it lifts easily, then it's ready to turn over. But not a minute more. So we're just going to be patient and calm to get these nice and dark on the sides. I mean, it is very tempting to just go whoop, but they rip and you will get pissed off. Trust me. Trust me. But as you can see, how it's getting nice and dark there, nice golden, and it's not quite ready. Oh, there we go. You see how that just popped on its own? To flip, there we go. There we go. That's what you want, right there. That's what you want. And we'll try this on this side. Oh, it just does it on its own. It's not a lot of work that you're doing to flip them. There we go, and you just leave them there. Now, once this is fried, I'll let it cool off. And what we do with this is that we dip it in what we call mayo ketchup. Now, I'm going to link a video down below that I did of crinkle cut plantain French fries. And I actually show you how to make mayo ketchup. So I'll link that in the description below. So if you want to check that out, you can. So here we are. We're still frying some alcapuria. I apologize because my phone got hot again and shut off on me. But we're back on track now. But I went ahead and fried a few more. So here we go. This is the finished product. This is what it looks like once it's all nice and fried. It's nice and crispy on the outside. And let's take a look on the inside. Oh my God. Here we go. These are so delicious. Look at that. Look at that. People, this is la Alcapurria. Here we go. It is totally delicious and it is hot. Ooh, hot, hot, hot. I should know better, right? But, ooh, there we go. That's what it looks like. So delicious. You see the ground beef in there. And so this is the mayo ketchup right here. I always make some and keep it in small batches. And so when you get it at a restaurant or at a kiosk, you'll get it in something like this, little something plastic like this. And you just take it and you dip that bad boy in there. Ooh, excuse me. You know me and my happy dance. That is good. That is good. So there you have it, people. Alcapurria. When you come down to Puerto Rico, you have to have it. If you're in the States, look for it at some criolla restaurant, some Puerto Rican restaurant. I'm sure they'll have it. Try it. You will enjoy it. You will love it. I'm going to continue frying them. I'm going to continue making them. But until the next time, you give it a big thumbs up. Please subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you think about my alcapurrias. And until the next time, God bless. And bye-bye.